In this guide, we'll cover all the variations of Hoverboard Heroes along with how to pass all the obstacles with ease. Since the board moves at the same speed every single game, knowing where to be at what time is an aspect that's often overlooked. The first part is fairly simple. Do note that the board won't start to move until 2 seconds to the game, so use this chance to be at the very front of the board. Once you've passed the first beam, quickly run to the very front of the board to pass the second beam immediately. The third beam is a little tricky, but the beam travels in a few ways. One is where they'll be staggered and one where both beams will go up and down together. Just wait for the beams to go up and down together and then pass them. If you position yourself correctly, you can pass the fan every time. Make sure to position yourself to the left side of the board, which is also the same side as the fan, and run towards the fan rather than away. The further you are from the fan, the more likely you are to be blown away from the platform. Even if you do happen to get hit by an object, as long as you're on the left side, the fan shouldn't blow you away from the platform. You will at most have to run towards the fan at least 3 times before you're out of its range. Once you've passed the fan section and are on the platform, you can actually dive jump onto the sides and onto the riser. However, if you do have the fans on the side, you can use those instead since they're safe and very easy to use. However, if you have the flippers instead, you should use the belts instead in my opinion. And since traversing the flippers is very tricky, you could potentially fall into the slime. But once you've passed the belts, I recommend waiting on the small patch of area right after the belts, rather than say on the slime where you could potentially fall off the slope or people could grief you. It'll take about 16 seconds for the board to get back, and once you see the board, just cut the corner by dive jumping onto the slime and then run towards the board. And once you're in the zone, a shortcut here is to jump on the rainbow arch and walk across it and then leap onto the middle platform. If you do, however, happen to fall off while running on the edge and onto the bridge, just turn back around and jump to the platform. And once you're on the middle platform, you then can jump on the top of the speakers to avoid any potential obstacles near the middle platform. This part has 3 variations, one where the laser hurdles are swinging front to back, one where they swing side to side, and the last variation with a thick bonkus in the middle. The easiest variation out of the 3 is the front to back. You just have to stand between the gaps and that's literally it, and just move a little. The thick bonkus is a little tricky on the other hand. You have to basically move all the way to the back of the board and wait till the board is about to reach the end point. In order to avoid the thick bonkus, all you have to do is jump dive underneath it, or just run to the platform once the path is clear. If thick bonkus is on the left, you have to run to the right and vice versa. And the final variation, and arguably the most difficult one if you're not paying attention, it's the side to side ones. Just jump over it and be careful not to bump into anyone or anything, because even one trip up and you're gone. You'll have to jump over quite a few times, but once you have the momentum, you'll be fine. And once you've reached the last set of platforms, walk in front of the fans and then jump immediately so that you don't fall into the slime. Or if you get the flippers, just run around to the front. If there are a lot of people, you could potentially hit somebody and get flung into the slime. Subscribe for more guides.